we need to know whether those complaints were genuine or wrong, because you are telling us they were revised, you are giving us scholarly arguments, you are not telling us the truth. You don't want to be specific. And if you don't want that way, I believe maybe we can rest at that point.
Thank you, Chairman. If I can assist my CEO.
I want you to exhaust the question so that you answer one.
If I can assist my CEO in that.
CS, just be patient. Something from Eve, so that we finalize.
Chair, I was a bit concerned on these unregistered candidates, because the report I got from one of the markers was that there were two sets. There was one that was the sheets that were rejected by the machine, and then there were these ones of candidates who were not registered. How did you identify these candidates who are not registered? Where did they come from? That is my question. Did you call out to Kenyans and say that this is the last Kcpe? Can you please submit? We are going to allow you to do your exam so that all Kenyans across the country would know that they can do it without being registered. That's what I want to know.
And then on top of that, how many were unregistered?
Yes.
So that you settle this issue once and for all.
And then, and the ones that were rejected by the machine, you brought them to the marking centers and asked them to mark them manually.
Yes. Toroitich, I want us to finish the questions and then we just answer. Toroitich, you have withdrawn. Yes, you have withdrawn. Yes, let's have Honorable Nabi.
Yes, CS, you know, in the transition from class 7 to class 8 that did the last KCP, there's an accounted for 200,000. We have been asking ourselves, where did these 200,000 candidates come from?
Order, Honorable Nabi. We just asked that question.
Yes.
No, do you have the figure?
No.
That's why we want them to answer. How many?
I have not finished my execution.
So you have the number?
Yes, from my own sources. So, CS, can you explain to us how this number, the variance of 200,000 came about? And then finally, CS, can you please tell me who is going to compensate these pupils who got wrong results and got psychologically tortured?
Chairman.
Order. Let's be orderly. Order, Honorable Member for Kibra. Members, that question has been asked, I think, almost third, fourth time. Yes. I want you to straight away answer that, and questions that you aren't able to answer, kindly note them down and give us a written submission. CS, on that note, kindly.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. To start with, from
question of psychological torture. That one is very important,
so
that we end that.
That's when I will come to it with your permission, Chairperson. To start with the first question from my friend, Honorable Chair, is that there are issues which have been resolved, and we have said that we are not hiding anything. Really, when we find that the right mark was supposed to be this, we are able to give the right mark, like what we did for the case of Kakamega. Chairman, I'm seated here being an example. What happened to us in a class in Agoro Sara Form 6, you can imagine the year if Obara comes from that area, because that was my school in Form 6. My provisional result, if you see the result slip, and what is in the certificate is actually different. In the initial result, my grade, if I can be able to refer in geography, was a principal D. At that time we had principles A, B, C, D, E, up to E. But later, when the teachers appeared, all of us, my final grade was a principal B in geography. So this, you can imagine that was in the 70s. So even now, we have those few cases. And when people appeal, and we find genuinely there was some kind of human error or something, we are able to adjust. So there are cases where you can find, honestly, there is something which happened and adjustments are done on the right way. I did come out, honorable members, because this was the last cohort of Kcpe 844. We do not want to rock anybody out. Mheshimiwa, the number we had additional compared to the other year was 177 candidates, and it was 13%, an increase of 13%. The normal increase normally is about 8%. The same question you are asking, we did ask. But I think because it was the last cohort, anybody who was out, anybody who thought he was going to be crossed out was able to come and enroll as a candidate, and we did not want to rock anybody out. So we had 177,000, which was 13% increase. The 205 unregistered, when it came to my notice almost 2 weeks to the examination, I did make a public announcement, and I think it was covered in the media that anybody who was not registered, we have been able to create a room where we were able to accommodate these people, because I found if we never did so, the 205 Kenyans will not have had an opportunity to transition to the next level. And you know, the government policy is that we have to have 100% transition. My friend, Honorable, the trauma. One, actually the correct result is obtained from the school portal. What you get from the SMS, any parent, the provisional results where you get the result slip is the correct information. So in the school portal, we never issued and we never gave out information which was not correct. So what was obtained in the portal was actually the correct information. The honorable member for Narok, Honorable Rebecca Tungei, did ask about gender parity, and I think part of the SMS has been answered. And the Kabarak, I would like my peers to answer the gender parity, because what we had, we are almost at par. It's almost equal when you compare progress with the years, the way they have gone. But this year we had, I think, 48 female, and we had about 51 male, which was a small difference, unlike the other years. My peers will be able to explain on that, and also he will be able to give an explanation on the CEO about the Kabarak, because I think there is a discussion we had and they have the answers.
Thank you, Chair. On the issue of parity, I think parity, as we are all aware, parity, as you deal with it this year, as the CS mentioned, is that we had an additional 177,000 candidates. 13% came into the system. Usually it's between 5.7 to 7% in terms of growth, which is almost reflective of our natural growth in terms of population. This year there was around an additional 8% of people who would have accumulatively been out there and have not taken an opportunity to register for examinations. So this 177,000 was not a natural population that would have been growing annually. And therefore, when they came in to take advantage of this last examination, it distorted the usual parity that has been there. What we have done is that we have isolated those counties which had a huge negative impact on the number of registered candidates in terms of female, male. And we had, I think, 12 counties, which shows a huge disparity. And our teams in quality assurance is trying to go into details so that we can also check on the age brackets and all other issues that may have come in with this increase from 8% annual growth to 13%, so that we can check and say, if this was a contributory factor, what was it? Is it from regions where the boy child may have been used? Let's take the pastoralist areas. Would it be areas that... So we are going into details to be able to check on these parities. On the issues of checking, I think the CEO will be the right person. But I would want to add, and it would be good for CEO to come out very clearly on this, that there was a candidate whose marks on the constructive area, which is the composition, the girl from Kakamega were 358 marks. When the composition mark, which I think the girl got 38 out of 40, was combined, then it took that girl to the new area. Meaning that there are genuine cases where when we deal with these genuine issues, there is an impact which sometimes, in most cases, it would be a positive impact. And I think the CEO should mention that particular case, including standardization and moderation, and the impact that it had on that particular girl, as he answers the question of Kabrak Primary School.
Thank you, Chair. On this issue of standardization, because I think that's what is creating a bit of anxiety, particularly with some schools. One, and that combines with a question that came up with the Member of Parliament around the marks, and maybe, Chair, I could also defend myself and say I am very truthful. So I have no intentions of giving any untruthful information. What we report after marking Kcpe is not the raw score of the candidate. When candidates sit for exams in school, what schools report back to them is the raw score. So even if you sat for that same paper, if I gave a candidate today the math paper or the science paper, and they finished sitting for the paper, the mark they will get is a raw score. Because this is a national exam, which we explained is norm referenced. And we say that norm reference, which is different from KCSE, which is criterion referenced. With norm referenced, you are comparing one candidate If you look at the table that we provided for you, you will see that the results are very consistent from 2016. The population of learners that got 400 and above in 2016 was 0.5% of the learners. This year, the population of learners that got 400 and above is 0.6%. Last year, it was 0.6%. We are comparing your student with the 1.4 million candidates who have sat for the same examination. Now let me come to a small explanation, Chair, if you allow me. Around the similar scores, and say this. Kiswahili, the candidate has 50 questions which are multiple choice, and then they have a composition which they are sitting for. Then you combine the two. The same happens to Kiswahili. And therefore, consistently you will find, since the Kcpe exam started, every year, Chairman, even 2016, 2017, there are always a few cases. Like this year, we had that's why I'm saying I'm very truthful. We disclose everything. There were 5 schools in the whole country, and we can share that information with you. Out of the 28,000 schools that be, and we acknowledged it. This could be circumstantial evidence. It could maybe tell you maybe something happened. But then the examining boards ask themselves this question. It can only be circumstantial evidence, but it cannot be conclusive evidence that there was cheating, because it is multiple choice. The answer has already been supplied. So how will you tell the kid that maybe you copied from your so it's a very challenging thing, and this applies across the world. All examining boards, they have to contend with the soft underbelly of the multiple choice questions. The last one, Chair, if you allow me, is to explain that the weighting that we give to compositions is heavier than the weighting given to multiple choice questions. Because in multiple choice questions, we say the answer has already been provided. All you are doing is to select the right answer. In composition, you are constructing the answer yourself. So when we are doing our standardization, the weight given to the composition is heavier than the weight given to the multiple choice questions. And hence, that is why once you standardize, you will find that some candidates will get a higher mark than what it would be considered as the raw mark of that candidate. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we want to order other members. I'll just give Honorable Borrero because he has not.
Thank you. And that was Hospital Hill. And I said they had applied for a remark of 38 students. And the placements of Form 1s, I think I've stated. I would wish that the CEO gives us a time frame, if the remarking is possible. And surely, if it can be done, while I was sitting, I've asked the school to send me the names of the students, and they have sent.
Order, Honorable Borrero. Order, Honorable Tonkei. You are completely out of order. Honorable Borrero, you know the standing orders very clearly, that you need to give the questions to the CS, and then after that he will supply the answers to you. And I think I want to direct that. I think you can't answer those particular issues because they are very specific and on the issue of time. Honorable Tonkei?
The issue of Kabarak has not been answered, Chair.
I think the issue was well answered. If you had the issue of the students, the marks, the students comparing one another. Can you repeat for Honorable Tonkei too? Yes. So that we clear it up.
I think, Chair.
Point of order, Chair. You know we are on Hansard. And if a member did not keep keen interest on the response, it was on Hansard instead of him repeating.
Mheshimiwa Vice Chair. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chair. So maybe first is also to indicate that it is a malpractice for a school to rank students in the index number based on their ability. The Ministry of Education in 2016 indicated that candidates should be issued with index numbers not based on their ability. So when someone shows up and tells you that our index number 1 to 10, that already is a malpractice that they have engaged in. And since we had not been given a specific question on Kabarak, and we are discussing very sensitive, confidential data, I would wish that I do not comment on a specific school, but indicate to the committee that the issues were submitted to us, and we have verified for all the schools which submitted their issues to us.
So noting that, I want you to take the issue of Honorable Tonkei and give a write-up on that particular specific issue so that you will give us in confidence.
We do that, Chair.
Lastly, Honorable
Thank you, Chair.
Mukunji.
Yes.
And then I want you to remember the issue of is it money?
Chair, I'd asked how much money
Did
the
you get?
SMS.
Yeah.
How much money did we realize from that SMS?
The two are the last ones so that we finalize.
Chair, thank you. I want to know, Honorable Chair, from the CS, whether these verifications, waiting for audit, and the continued response to the people who have put complaints has any impact on the deadline that the CS said for placement of Form 1 student that you said you will have released by Christmas. I would like to know whether you are still on course on that. And also, Honorable Chair, I have an AOB that I would request to ask if you give me permission.
I hope it is
Yes,
of relevance applies.
Yes.
On Standing Order 95, on the issues that we are discussing.
Yes, but it is also on the same level of the issues of schools.
No, I can't allow
AOB is an AOB I've requested.
Not now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. One, there was a question which was asked before, which we had not answered. And this was that for those particular schools where we are given the data without giving the names, we are actually being compliant to an act passed by this House, because we are in the House and we don't want to make a breach of that, because providing the names of the candidates will be against the provisions of the Data Protection Act as enacted by this House, which emphasizes on the privacy of personal information. So because of that, that's why we gave you the information without specifically indicating the names. The other question from my brother, I will, PS, you can answer. It was on. Yeah, CEO from Gitonga.
How much money do you raise? Only that?
Yes. Can you?
Chair, for the service provider, which is at this time, what we shall do is that the compilation of data of the amounts is done by the telecos. So what we shall do is to write to the telecos to give us what has been run up to this date. If we can give a cut-off date of today, then we shall request the telecos to give us, because those are the people who have the statistics, then we shall be able to share with the House.
So you will give all that information with all that we had requested that you will supply?
Yes.
In the next 7 days, is it?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you.
And finally, Chair, there was a question on placement.
Yes.
I want to assure the Honourable Chair and the members and the Honourable Member that we are actually working expeditiously such that any issue, any such component which comes to Kenya National Examination Council, the chairman and the members are here. We insist that it must be done within a period of maximum 2 days, so that the exact mark is known if there was any such problem as such, and we give the result back to whoever raised the complaint. So we want to assure all that nobody will be left out of the placement that is ongoing, and that we are having 100% transition. And of course, even the few cases which NEC is still to deal with, these are cases which might have come yesterday, the day before, and by tomorrow or the day after, we will be able to get the result, because we get all this information on any nature of complaint that has come. So we assure each and everyone that all will be placed in Form 1 and nobody is going to miss out.
Thank you. I want to request Honorable Njendi to introduce himself, and then we finalize.
Chairman, thank you. My name is Malulu Njendi, MP Malava, Kakamega County, and Vice Chair to the committee. Chair, just in relation to the service provider, I would like them also to confirm, because yesterday they said they have 2 ways of releasing these results. But you see, the information I have here on my phone here, from NEC, from NEC, and it says, from NEC, it says Kcpe 2023 results are out. Send the candidate index number to short code 4454 to get results instantly. The service charge is Kenya shillings 25 per SMS. Thank you. Now, I would like also to prove to us that you also have one that says, if you want to get these results, get to the school. It was what? A student portal or whatever it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then also just to guide.
Thank you, honorable members. I think those are the issues that were raised. It has been raised earlier on, and can you respond to it in 1 minute so that we clear them up?
Okay, thank you, Chair. Every head teacher of a school and every sub-county director of education receives a circular from NEC that explains very clearly, and I think we have attached it in the bundle of documents that we have submitted to you, that explains everything about how to access the results. In fact, every head teacher of a school has the password. Not anybody who can enter the school portal to access the results. So all the head teachers are aware of how to access.
Point of order, Chair.
Point of order.
Chair, Chair, is the CEO in order to tell us that the county directors and all that have this information? And yet the question is very clear. And I had also asked him the same question and they did not answer. That are they telling parents that this is optional?
Yes,
the order of this question. Yeah,
Honorable Njendi.
It's so simple, because the direction it's taking is a deviation. I'm just asking you, from NEC itself, that's why I'm repeating NEC itself. There's an SMS that is to all, that if you want to access results, then do the following. Do you have a similar one for all again, in general, not to the principals? For all, do you have a similar one?
No, we don't have.
Actually, Chairperson, if I can assist in that.
Yes.
My message, which I read to Kenyans, states very clearly that the results are obtainable from the school portal. And then it goes all, in case you are in a hurry, you can send SMS. So if you read that message.
Chair. Order, members. Order. I think, honorable members, I don't want us to belabor on this. That yesterday, one of the reasons why we are discussing this, put your mic off, Honorable Taitum. why we are discussing this is the issue of not giving parents alternatives. And two, we also want to ask you, and I think that those are the discussions we had yesterday, that this issue of 25 shillings, results should be as free education. So that is where we are driving at. And I think you gave us a very good answer yesterday, CEO. I don't know why you falter now. It was quite good. Maybe who can recap that, what you said?
Chair, I want to reconfirm. Yes. Yesterday we agreed that working with our teams from the Ministry of ICT, that come any other result that we are going to release, we shall build a system that is dependent on our resources as NEC and Ministry that will be able to assist, that will be able to avail results to our candidates. And I want to confirm, immediately after that, we have had a meeting with our colleagues from Ministry of ICT. This morning, I had a meeting with Otieno and his team, and they are already working towards that result. I can give that confirmation.
Chair.
Honourable members, I think we cannot belabor on this.
Chair.
Order, Honourable Taichuma.
Allow me
Our
to...
time is up. Order. The chair is on the floor. Honourable members, I want to just say this, that yes, the concerns of the members and the Kenyans are valid. I want to thank you. You've really made a very spirited effort to actually give the answers, not to members of parliament, but to Kenyans, what they asked for. And I want to thank these honourable members, more specifically Honourable Mukunji, because he's the one who raised this issue on the floor of the House. It has been debated. It has been questioned severally. And the CS, you've given us very incisive information on the issues that were raised. I also want to thank the media for the very good coverage that you've done, and more specifically on giving the facts as they are. However, I also want to caution us as politicians that we don't need to politicize the issues of exams. These are the issues of our learners. Let us not have other institutions that give information other than the examination council, the way they have done it very well. And we went in as members of Education Committee. We saw the technical aspect that went into the examination processes. We saw the kind of work that you went into. So I really want to caution, more specifically, the political class, that issues at hand are issues of our children. It is not the issues to make political expediencies. I've seen many politicians trying to issue press conferences, which are not adding up. So I want to ask everyone to dissuade from that and go to the facts as they are released from the Examination Council and the CS. Otherwise, I'll want to thank the media. You've had issues. We else not also have issues that cannot be verified. I think the CS, we have the report here, and the media, you can have it. Thank you so much. I think we are through with our discussion. Asanteni sana.
No, I am very satisfied, Chair, by what has been given by the CS. CS has given a very candid answer.